Okay, everyone put your microphones on. Robert, it was suggested to me that you should double check to make sure everyone has their mics on, or yell at us from the back.
I already checked.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I move that we open the public set part of the town board meeting of Thursday, March 6, 2025, and leave executive session.
I'll second. All in favor? Yes.
Aye. Oh,
Aye. Any opposed? Nope.
no. Are we doing this for the whole meeting? Because if so, I need to be prepared.
Except for the bottom ones that you read aloud, yeah.
Okay. We will start with a pledge of allegiance, as we always do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. It doesn't say the exits. We still have to do the exits, I think. The door you came in and this are the two exits from the room if anything happens. And roll call, Dawn.
Supervisor Blackman?
Yes, here.
Council members Ahern? Here. Ham?
Yeah, here.
Let the record reflect that Councilman Revillard is going to be absent this evening.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda as written, except we are tabling the bond resolution because we need 4 people to approve that, so we're going to have to reschedule that. We've been talking about doing that next Tuesday in this room in a special meeting that would be at 5:30. Because we're only going to have to vote on that item because we need Brad here to do that. And let's see.
So you're moving a motion to amend the agenda,
I'm making a motion to amend the agenda.
striking the resolution authorizing the issuance of the 3.9 bond.
Right. And to move that to a special meeting.
I'll second. All in favor? Yes.
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 Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. So now we have public comment on agenda items, if anyone has any. This could be a first. Okay, well, then we will move on to public hearings. There are 2 required that we hold tonight. Do I have to make a motion to go into them? Okay. Then I make a motion that we enter into the first one, or open the first one, which is a public hearing on a local law extending the term of office for the supervisor.
I'll
Anyone
second.
have? Oh,
Time 7:06.
okay.
All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope. See, this is a change,
have to
Dawn.
say no.
Are you sure?
Silence is
Okay.
no.
Okay, so were there any comments on the local law extending the term of office for the supervisor? I will tell you that that one has to go to a permissive, that one has to be on the ballot, right? And the other one is
Mandatory, yeah.
a mandatory, right. That one is mandatory, and the other, the term limit one is something that we can.
So we're just opening the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. We don't need to go into detail. Okay, so anyone have any comments on that local law? Oh, Judy?
Quite sure who's that was up there for. Let me see. I do not know whether all of the paperwork necessary for the local law to extend the term of the supervisor being put on the ballot has been done so that there would be no further cost. If it has not been done and there would be a further cost, I wish you guys would not do that, but it's, I guess you had enough votes anyway, so This is just a, I wish we weren't going to spend that money, that's all, because we did have a relatively recent vote on that.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, then I move that we close that public hearing and that we open the second public hearing.
Whoa.
Oh, what?
You're-
I'm
you're-
going too fast for
You're
you?
moving to close it.
And I'll
Yeah.
second.
Thank you, Nicole. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Great. Now you can open.
Okay. I move that we open the second public hearing, which is on the map plan and report for Water District Number 1, and the engineer presented that information at our last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? You have to say, when it's all in favor, I have to
Aye,
hear an aye.
yes.
Aye,
Okay,
sorry.
Good, thank you.
We'll get the hang of this
If I
new
can't see you,
system
I have to
eventually.
hear you.
Okay, I'll try to lean back too. Okay, any comments on the public hearing item regarding the Water District improvements? Okay, looks
Okay,
like,
just so let the record reflect that the town did receive one public comment from Tracy Saladay, to which was circulated and responded to very confidently by Charlie Miller. And there's been no additional comments that have been received.
okay, so committee reports.
You
You have to
You have
close
to
the
make-
public.
Oh, we have to close the public hearing. I move that we close the public hearing on Water District Number 1.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, let's see, I think I'll do the supervisor report, even though I'm not a not even not, well, whatever. The first thing is progress on the highway garage. The architects are probably a third of the way through their construction drawings at this point. The latest are the mechanical systems, which was done 2 weeks ago, and the electrical layout is going to be worked on tomorrow with the electrical engineer. The Water District, the next step after Delaware Engineering's map plan report is bonding the project. And as I said before, since we need 4 members to approve a bond, we'll have to do that in a special meeting next Tuesday. Wassaic Center, our surveyor, after weeks of snow and ice, has finally been able to complete he's taken all the dimensions. He hasn't drawn it all up yet, but that means that the enhancement committee can get back to work on that finally. Graphic designer hopes to have something to show next week for the town identity package, and he'll present 3 options to the board after that, which will probably be our next meeting. The website continues moving ahead. Town Web, the designers are now transferring all the information that's on our existing website to the new one. That's copy and paste, not cut. Once that's accomplished, that'll be presented to the town board. The LED sign, we are going to need to review and approve the bidding, but that's not happening at this meeting. The DDSO, New York State Empire State Development Corporation sent out an RFP for developing the site last week. They asked for it to occur in 5 phases and to conform to our comprehensive plan and zoning code. All of the developers are able to make an argument for some changes. And it'll probably be not until the end of the summer that they get response. They're giving the developers, because it's a fairly big project, a few months to put that together. Main Street, I finally today spoke to, was able to reach the person at New York State DOT to ask, to respond to my questions about traffic calming and downtown parking. I wanted to know what permissions we would need from them and in what ways they can help us with that. And I have a phone call tomorrow morning, or I'm supposed to call back there tomorrow morning to speak to the head of the department and hopefully get some answers. Zoning, our part-time zoning enforcement officer is trying to get a number of long-time offenses cleaned up, and we will find out when he's back in the Tuesday after next whether there's progress. In terms of grants, I phoned all of our Dutchess County, New York State, and U.S. elected representatives regarding obtaining member items. That's happening this time of year. And I'm going to follow that up with an emailed letter tomorrow or Monday. I've also been working with a grant writer to develop a list of potential 2025 projects, relevant grants, and application deadlines for those. And last is the Housing Board presented a great Housing 101 event last Saturday, February 22nd. There were 4 speakers who've actually managed to get housing built elsewhere in Dutchess County and Connecticut. And there remain a series of panels on the second floor of Town Hall, which were prepared by the Millerton Housing Committee with images of successful rural developments, and invite people to stop by and see it. It shows some really nice houses and makes the whole subject much less scary. That's the supervisor's report.
Okay. So good evening. Real quick update. We've been very busy with tax collection the last couple weeks. So as I reported previously, the total warrant this year of what I'm collecting is $9,008,387, to which the town and the special districts have all been satisfied in full in the amount of $4,706,316.42, and the county has been sent a partial payment in the amount of $2,564,600. And to date, as of this afternoon, about 4:41 to be exact, remaining uncollected is $1,720,017.59. So just a reminder to all of our residents who are self-paying their property taxes, they are currently due. We are in our first penalty period, and that if you have any questions regarding your personal bill, please do not hesitate to give me a call here at the office, area code 845-373-8860, extension 125, or visit our website, www.ameniany.gov. Right online, you can pay by e-check, credit card, you can print your receipt, you can access your bill, you can get a full history going back to 2008, should you have any questions about tax property bills. I also do share with the board, I know we've had a little bit of a busy 2 weeks, but Rosanna and I did have the opportunity to attend AOT in February, where we obtained 10 hours of our continued training. Also, while in attendance, I had the opportunity to instruct 2 court clerk classes. So it's always fun to be able to represent Amenia in that way of being an instructor, but something special happened this year, and I felt like I was on a television show. Our comptroller was talking about unclaimed funds, and then he says, I know there's somebody here from Amenia, so here we are, I'm standing in the back with Bill Beal, and so you raise your hand, Rosanna raises her hand, so I run down the center, and it was really exciting. So the town has received information on how to officially collect the unclaimed funds in the amount of $2,745. So that big check in the town clerk's office, although I can't cash it, it looks pretty cool. So it's on display to show the town of Amenia is participating with that. So that was fun to
So why didn't you bring it?
Because it was so exciting. And
You could probably get it during the break.
I could. And then we did have the opportunity to hear from Chuck Schumer and Governor Hochul. So, it's always a great time going to AOT representing the small little town of Amenia here in Dutchess County. This year it was a little bit more fun and exciting. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we've been busy with our education and tax collection at this time. So thank you. I do have one item that I do need action from the board. Sometimes when you guys make appointments, our members have a very busy schedule or become ill and they are not able to sign their oaths of office. So at this time, I am asking for the board to reappoint Craig Miley to the ZBA with a term expiring on December of 2029. It's just for the administrative purposes of signing his oath.
I make that motion.
Thank you,
And I'll
Rosanna.
second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. I'll have Craig come in. Okay, that concludes the town clerk's report.
Okay, so discussion items. The first is food truck regulations. New York State actually, that was on a list of items that New York State suggested we put in our zoning code, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But the committee that was supposed to do it dropped to 2 people, and then the two people got exhausted after the solar code. So that's one of the things that didn't get addressed. But it's a particular issue because we're getting towards warmer weather, and there were food trucks at the summer concert series that Rec did last summer, and we really don't have actual regulations as to how they're supposed to be licensed, where they can be located, et cetera. So Ian has looked around to get examples from other towns, and will be sending that to us, and we'll hopefully make a proposal for how that should be worded in the pretty near future. Any comments on that?
No, you handled that great.
Very sweet of you to say. Okay, the other thing is that we are actually at the point of maybe getting senior swim and adult swim off the ground, which is very exciting. And I want to make a motion for Dawn to advertise for those positions. There would be 4. They wouldn't all be working at the same time, but people will need to rotate. And it would be $25 an hour. And as soon as we get them in place, we will be able to, or the rec committee will be able to set up what?
Up to 7 hours a week.
Oh, thank you, up to 7 hours a week, which we did discuss early, but I wrote it on a different page. Thank you. So I move that Dawn advertise for that position after this meeting.
Okay, so just to clarify, the motion is to authorize the town clerk to advertise for lifeguards at $25 an hour, up to 7 hours a week. So Leah, you've made that motion. Nicole, you've seconded it. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed?
It came to my attention as we were looking to hire an electrician to do some repair work in Town Hall, that we used to have a town electrician who would call for small repairs. And that was Mr. Licurdo, but since Mr. Licurdo died, no one got around to appointing someone else. Most recently, we've been using Jim McDermott, who used to work for Licurdo and after he died went on his own. And I'm not making a motion, but I just want to make people aware of, well, I actually wanted to see how people felt about that. We do have a town plumber, which is Perotti, that we call for repairs, but I just thought it would probably be a good idea to have an electrician as well. So thoughts on that?
I mean, has he been doing the work so far anyway?
Well,
for
he
the
has
town?
been, well, he actually just, tonight, we would be approving a contract to do the repair work, but the point was we couldn't do any in between because we needed to wait until we could get 4 quotes and all that stuff, 3 quotes. So I think for small things, then we should probably clarify what exactly we would have him do, but it would certainly be a lot easier for the custodian if
To
he could
be
just
able to
call
have,
something.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Rosanna?
That's fine.
Okay, so I will, well, I guess I'll move that we want to hire a town electrician, and we probably will need a for real resolution to do so.
Okay.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Okay. Now, I wanted to clarify where we go from here. This is our first meeting where we're attempting to do, oh, thank you very much, appreciate that, where we're attempting to operate with a consent agenda. A consent agenda means that the information, the resolutions are put up on the website 2 days in advance, and the board members get them then or sooner, so everyone can read it and be ready to just vote the slate of them up and down. So tonight, we actually have 4 items that we want to do by consent agenda. Dawn will read them, and we would vote on the 4 of them. Basically, the idea was to save time because, people run out of voice before we get through all our agenda items. So if
Okay,
you want to explain.
Supervisor, at this time, I'm looking, is someone willing to move would somebody be willing to move that we accept resolution number 35, authorizing the contract for electrical work to be performed at the Town Hall of Amenia. Resolution number 36, authorizing the contract for interior painting to be performed at the Town of Amenia Town Hall. Motion to accept resolution number 37, hiring the planner for CPRC to lead the community outreach, enter data and draft text. And resolution number 38, correcting and clarifying the accounting for the Town of Amenia Highway Capital Reserve Fund.
I'll make that motion.
Great.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes? Oh,
Any-
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great.
Wow. That seemed fairly easy. Okay, so now we have the resolutions that are not part of the consent agenda, and we will start reading those, I guess. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry, it's stuck together. There we go. Okay.
That's the one I think we can't do.
Oh, right, that's the one we're not doing.
Interest
Okay.
order.
Oh, it is, okay.
We're
What
going to do
one?
this. We are.
Oh, we are,
So if you
okay.
open up your packets where it says step 2, we're going to go ahead and we're moving
Oh,
forward
I
with
see.
the interest order.
Okay, got it. So,
Gotcha.
got it. So, whereas the town board of the town of Amenia, Dutchess County, New York, has duly caused to be prepared a map plan and report, including an estimate of cost pursuant to section 202B of the town law, relating to the proposed increase and improvement of the facilities of Water District Number 1 in the town of Amenia, Dutchess County, New York, consisting of the construction of improvements and to reconstruction of elements of the water system required for regulatory compliance, reliability, and long-term sustainability, including replacement of the Lavelle Road pump station, reconstruction of the water tank, upgrades to the wells, construction of a new booster pump station, and reconstruction of water mains together with original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, appurtenances, and incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith at a maximum estimated cost of $3,902. $902,850. And whereas at a meeting of said town board duly called and held on February 6, 2025, an order was duly adopted by it and entered into the minutes specifying that said town board would meet to consider the increase and improvement of facilities in Water District Number 1 in said town to a maximum estimated cost of $3,902,850, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof concerning the same at Town Hall in Amenia, New York, in said town on March 6, 2025, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time. And whereas said order duly certified by the town clerk was duly published and posted as required by law, and whereas a public hearing was duly held at the time and place set forth in said notice, at which all persons desiring to be heard were duly heard, now therefore be it ordered by the town board of the town of Amenia, Dutchess County, New York, as follows. Section 1. Upon the evidence given at aforesaid public hearing, it is hereby found and determined that it is in the public interest to make the increase and improvement of the facilities of Water District Number 1 in the town of Amenia, Dutchess County, New York, consisting of the construction of improvements to and reconstruction of elements of the water system required for regulatory compliance, reliability, and long-term sustainability, including replacement of the Lavelle Road pump station, reconstruction of the water tank, upgrades to wells, construction of a new booster pump station, and reconstruction of water mains, together with original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, appurtenances, and incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith at a maximum estimated cost of $3,902,850. Section 2, this order shall take effect immediately. I make that motion.
I'll second.
Supervisor Blackman?
Yes.
Councilperson Zahern?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Okay. I think it passed. Okay, now, as I said before, there would normally be a bond amendment that followed that, but we are not able to approve a bond amendment without 4 members, and since Brad is not here, we called a special meeting for next Tuesday at 5:30 to vote on the bond amendment that attaches to what we just approved. So the next local law is, one second, resolution number 40, of 2025. Do you want to take that, Nicole?
Adopting local law number, does it?
40.
Oh,
Oh, local
No.
law.
Oh, wait, no,
X,
local
right?
law X.
Yeah, of the year
Formerly known as
2025,
Twitter.
extending term of office of supervisor, whereas a resolution was duly adopted by the town board of the town of Amenia, introducing proposed local law number X of the year 2025, entitled Extending Term of Office of Supervisor for consideration of adoption by the town board, and whereas a public hearing was duly advertised in the official newspaper of the town, and whereas a public hearing was held on March 6, 2025, and all parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition to said proposed local law or any part thereof, and whereas the town board previously determined that this proposed local law is a type 2 action and the adoption of this local law is otherwise exempt from environmental review, and whereas said local law has been on the desks of the members of the town board of the town of Amenia for at least 7 days, exclusive of Sunday prior to the adoption of this resolution, and whereas the town board of the town of Amenia, after due deliberation, finds that it is in the best interest of the town to adopt said local law, subject to a mandatory referendum in accordance with the provisions of Municipal Home Rule Law 23, and whereas a proposition shall be submitted to the qualified electors of the town at the next general election of the town to be held on November 4th, 2025, in the form attached hereto. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board of the town of Amenia hereby adopts proposed local law number X of the year 2025 entitled Extending Term of Office of Supervisor, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part of this resolution. The town board hereby directs the town clerk to prepare an abstract of this local law together with a ballot proposition with the advice of the attorney to the town to be submitted to the qualified electors of the town at the November 4th, 2025 general election in accordance with the provision of Municipal Home Rule Law 25. The town clerk is directed to transmit the abstract of the local law X of the year 2025 and the ballot proposition to the Dutchess County Board of Elections so that it may be placed on the ballot at the November 4th, 2025 general election for the vote the duly qualified electors of the town. The attorney to the town clerk, and the supervisor are directed to take all necessary steps to place the attached ballot proposition before the qualified electors of the town at the November 4th, 2025 general election. This local law shall take effect immediately upon its filing with the Secretary of State after its approval by an affirmative vote of a majority of the qualified electors of the town in the accordance with the provisions of Section 27 of the Municipal Home Rule Law. I'll make that motion, but I don't know if anyone else.
What?
Okay, is there a second?
Well, I'll second, but I do have a question.
You go right ahead.
So the part where it says when it will take effect, so the general election is in 2025, so does that mean it'll take effect in 2027, correct? Or 2028, actually?
2028, yeah, because
The
2026 is the
next
next.
supervisor election.
Yeah, so the law will go into effect, if there's an affirmative vote, it will then be filed at the Secretary of State, it goes into effect. The date where it will mean something will be after the 2026,
27 biennial,
and then 2027 will be that's the beginning term, right? So from that point forward.
Okay.
Supervisor Blackman?
Yes.
Okay, second?
Oh, did we get a?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Ham
I'm sorry.
seconded.
I'm sorry.
Councilmember Ahern?
Yes.
Ham?
yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. The third is the term limits. Rosanna, do you want to read this?
That's number 41. What do you-
Yes.
Introducing proposed local law number 41 of the year 2025, creating a new chapter entitled Term
X.
Limits.
Local law number X.
Oh.
Local law number X. Sorry. Whereas the town board of the town of Amenia intends to expand participation in electoral process and bring new ideas to government in the town of Amenia, and whereas the town board is desirous of enacting a local law to limit terms of office for elected officials in the town of Amenia, and whereas the town board has determined that the proposed action is a type 2 action as determined in 6 NY CRR 617.5 C 33, and accordingly, the town board hereby expressly determines that this action is not an action that requires review pursuant to the provisions of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board hereby introduces for consideration of its adoption proposed local law number X of the year 2025, creating a new chapter entitled Term Limits in the form annexed hereto. Number 3, the town board has determined that the proposed action is a type 2 action as determined in 6 NYCRR 617.5 C33, and accordingly requires no further review pursuant to the provisions of the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA. The town board hereby schedules a public hearing regarding the proposed adoption of the annexed local law for 7 p.m. on the 3rd day of April 2025 to be held at the Town Hall, 4988 Route 22, Amenia, New York, and the town clerk is directed to post a notice of public hearing in the town's official newspaper, the Millerton News, and on the signboard maintained by the town clerk and town hall, not less than 10 days prior to said public hearing date, and that such notice shall be in the following form. I make that motion?
I'll second.
Supervisor Blackman?
No?
Councilmember Zahern?
No.
Pam?
No.
We just saved Judy some money.
Motion fails.
Other matters as required.
Well, on that one, I just want to say that it's hard enough to find people to volunteer and step up in our small town that I just feel like limiting that, it's just not necessary in our town. You know, higher government has it, and that's fine, but for us, I just don't think we need it. That's all.
Yes,
And I have faith in the voters.
Yes, that too.
I do too, as long as we live in a democracy. Okay, so that was one matter. You also, did you want to talk about the parking stuff?
Well,
or
I
is-
do, but don't you have to do the, isn't this the spot where you do the LED sign?
So,
Oh.
real quick, I know that we talked about having to withdraw said bids and reauthorize me to do that, but I realize we don't have a motion here, we don't have a written resolution with us tonight, so if we can add that to Tuesday's schedule,
Oh, okay.
and we'll make it work.
Okay.
Okay.
So that'll be a Tuesday item.
Okay, so we actually have two things on Tuesday. Thank you. Okay?
So I did want to talk about the parking if we're done with that topic.
Yes, please.
Ian, were you able to get anything from the Dutchess County Civil Service on the civilian patrol officer?
So I've been playing phone tag with Dutchess County Civil Service. I have not been able to reach and actually speak to them on that. I'm hoping to get in touch with them soon so I can get a report back to the board on it. There was that, and there was the other issue you and I had discussed as well, so.
Okay, so so I did speak again to the Pauling village clerk, and she said that the person they hired for 20 hours per week at $18 per hour. And they said it was really a pretty easy process to go through. The other question I have is last week, I also had in your packets the proposal for the handheld devices. Would you like me to call that gentleman and see if he'll come and talk to the board, or?
I mean, I think that makes sense. It would be kind of good to make sure we know what the whole package costs. I mean, including an idea about just the labor, just adding that up for, 20 times, I mean, 18 times 52,
So I
I
will
could
give
almost
him
do
a
it in
call.
my head, but not any longer. I mean, in my youth. But I think if we have a whole idea of cost, that would make it easier to figure out what to do next.
Well, it is in the proposal, but I think it might be better for him to come and explain it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree.
And because I think it's different the first year than it is the following years.
Right.
So I think it would be good for him to come and clarify
I think that's
that,
great.
if he'll come.
Yeah, there was like startup cost and then just the
Right.
continuation of using it.
And just so you guys know, I have taught classes with John and Dennis, the owner of that parking program.
kidding.
And I participated in instructional. So that is a great program. I believe when Chris was still constable, we had presented that one year during the budget to go ahead and have that implemented because it will help the court in many ways as well when it comes to it. So it
So do
is-
you want to call
I
them, or
can-
do you want me to call them?
You're guys the ones that have the questions, so do you want them just to come here to a meeting or is it?
I would like them to come to a
Yeah.
meeting,
Sure. I can work with them.
since you know them personally.
Yep.
And you know kind of what, yeah.
Be happy
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
One other quick thing, I did also, I don't know if you remember a while back, we got an email from a Jennifer Thimble about, she's an agricultural expert, and I did contact her today at the request of the planning board. They would like her to come and speak, and tentatively she's coming on April 9th to the planning board meeting.
Great, thank you for making that happen. Yes, please. Oh, Ian, what form is the requirement for our filling Paul's seat?
As far as the procedure to fill it,
Well, no, not the procedure, but how do we actually, what is required to make that announcement, I guess?
I'm not sure I quite understand your question. To make the announcement that you need to fill an empty seat?
Yes, we had that conversation about,
Yeah. The board has the power to select
Right, but
to fill that
Can we
seat.
just make a motion?
You, I would do it by a resolution. I wouldn't do it by a motion to
Okay,
fill
I
it.
guess we can add that to Tuesday as well, then.
Okay.
but,
But if we choose to do,
but do we need a resolution if we choose not to fill the seat as well?
Oh, right, that's a good question. Do we need a resolution to not fill the seat?
No.
Oh,
So we just make a
we
motion
don't
for
need-
that?
Do they have to do any action, or can they just make the announcement that they're not looking to do anything?
You can, it's the board's prerogative. The board wants to fill the seat and they want to choose somebody, they can choose somebody and they can have a vote to appoint. If they don't want to appoint, they don't have to appoint.
So in that case, we just don't have to do anything?
Correct.
Okay.
wow, okay. Interesting. Okay. Town board comment on other matters? No, huh? Okay, then public comment, if anyone has anything to say on any business, either before us or behind us or whatever, somewhere else. Judy? Judy, I feel like we should pay you for this service.
I just want to say thank you, actually, for your vote on the turbulence. I agree, I think a fair number of people agree, and as I pointed out, the last time there were 5 members sitting at the table, every single one have not been here for even 4 days. So I don't see how it possibly could be argued that you need to have turbulence. Thank you. Not to say anything.
Anyone else have anything to say? Vicki Doyle, fun to see you in the room again.
Vicki Doyle, 320 South Amenia Road, Wassaic. Wanted to say congratulations for getting the parking lot striped and all the signage. I mean, that was such a long, long process, and it's just nice to know where you're supposed to park, you know, how that is supposed to be used. It just is a wonderful thing, so congratulations on getting that work done. I wanted to express my support for moving forward with the proposal for Pace University to assist our comprehensive plan review committee to help us move forward with updating the comp plan. We recognize that we do not have the time and expertise, mostly the time, to make the big changes to that document that would be
Okay, and I think we did approve that this evening.
You did already?
Yeah, it was in our consent agenda.
Oh, okay.
Very sneaky, huh? I know, that's the idea.
Very heartily for getting that done so that we can move forward.
Yes, we're excited to see what happens.
Oh, I would also, since I'm thinking about this as well, is I also serve on the Conservation Advisory Council, and we will be doing a townwide cleanup again this year on Earth Day, and Earth Day is on Tuesday, the 22nd, but we'll be celebrating Earth Day on April 26th, that following Saturday, and we'll be doing a townwide cleanup from 9 a.m. to noon, and we will make sure that the transfer station is again, as they have for 10, 15 years, been willing to take our roadside trash. So as you drive along, if you see a section of road that is particularly egregious, you probably already know where favorite dumping spots are. This is our chance to have a utility trailer and have volunteers clean up those sections of town that are particularly difficult. So if you want to participate, you just meet us either at Fountain Square or at Mosaic Gordon Park by the picnic benches across from Maxim Mills, and we'll supply you with bags and I would
Vests.
suggest wearing gloves.
Gloves are good,
And
yes.
we'll have some reflective vests as well, so that you can be safe on the roads.
And you sometimes find really interesting objects, so it's worthwhile. I got a key to room 8 at the Willows last time I was out, so. So, any other, Oh, do we need to go back into
Yes,
executive
yes,
session? Is that what you're
please.
saying? Okay. I move that we close the public meeting and we go back into executive session.
Will there be any action after?
Oh, no, that's the end. Just adjourning. Thank you all.
Leo's moving that.
I'll second.
Thank you, Nicole. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and I will point out that
And the reasoning, just so the public knows, because I know Judy's excited to hear, legal advice now that council's here regarding matters pertaining to the appointment, employment, and dismiss of a particular person or corporation, as well as the additional legal advice regarding the proposed accusations of the sale or property.
okay, thank you all, and I'm pleased that this only took 45 minutes. It's
I think
kind of
that's a
remarkable.
record.
This new format, right?
How are you? Living the dream. It's been